Hello, 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 wives. Happy Self-Care Friday. Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. And good evening. Happy Self-Care Friday. What y'all got going on today? Coach T here with you. I just wanted to pop in real fast on this Friday. Hello. And see what y'all got going on. Coming to share some encouragement with you on this Friday evening to carry you through the weekend. Y'all got plans? Y'all weather being ghetto like Georgia weather? Georgia weather being real ghetto today. You know, it's first it was disrespectful. Now it's just being plain on ghetto. Y'all weather all right? Y'all weathering okay? Happy first of the month. Happy November. Come on, Jesus. I forgot today is the 1st of November. What y'all got going on? Are y'all preparing and ready? Now, I've seen some people put up their Christmas tree today. I'm a little disappointed because it's like, can we please? They ain't even give it a whole week. They ain't even give it a week into the month. And already, I've seen videos of people putting up Christmas trees. What is going on here? What is going on? I know 'tis the season to be jolly. I know a lot of people is trying to get into an old jolly mood, you know, with life stuff and things going on and happening. I understand. But today, y'all, on November the 1st, take that tree down. Take that tree down and put it up later. I just have an issue with the holidays and people, you know, not allowing certain holidays. Like we just finished, you know, harvest, you know, day. I'm Halloween, right? We just finished that. And now we jump right into November and y'all putting up the Christmas trees. Ain't nobody putting up no Christmas tree right now. I ain't putting up no Christmas tree right now. I'm not doing that. Y'all not going to convince me that it's time to put the Christmas tree up right now. I'm just not going to do that. So, for the ones who do that, God bless y'all. Okay. Listen. Happy Self-Care Friday. My name is Coach T. For some of you who may not know me, I am a mental health wife coach and marriage consultant. I coach wives who are going through a marital separation or a marital hardship. I help wives to confront their grief, their marital injury, and then I walk her through her journey in the most healthiest way by teaching her how to prioritize her mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health. All right. Most of the wives that I coach have biblical reasons to walk away from their marital relationship. But out of obedience to God, they say, you know what? Excuse me. I'm going to stay. I'm going to rock this out. I'm going to see what the Lord is going to do. I'm going to trust God in this process. And I'm going to take this walk. And so these are the wives that I coach. So welcome. Listen, not going to hold y'all long. Y'all see my title. I'm going to jump right on into this because baby, I think I'm fully, not fully recovered, but I'm much better. Okay. Y'all know I was in recovery on last week. Okay. So now I had me a week out of recovery. So I ain't gonna push myself too much. Okay. I ain't gonna push myself too much. I'm just going to take it easy and just share this word with y'all. Let y'all go on about y'all day, about y'all weekend, do something that y'all enjoy doing. And I'm going to start mine as well. All right. Listen, Psalms 103 has been one of the Bible chapters that I have been meditating on this week. If anybody know Coach T, they know I love the book of Psalms. Like Psalms is my book, honey, because it's such a realist. Right? I know there are many, many authors in the book of Psalms because it's not just David that wrote the Psalms, but I like a lot of the Psalms that David has wrote. I like a lot of Psalms that David has wrote. And I think I was riding down the street one day and I had asked the Lord, like, God, why was this man, journey so hard? Why did he had to go through so much? Why you pick and mess with that man at an early age? You told him at a young age, what his destiny was gonna be, what it was gonna be like, and then all that stuff he had to go through in between, Jesus. And I felt like the Lord gave me back, basically, and because of the things that he went through, I think I shared this before, because of the things he went through, he was able to reign as king for over 40 plus something years. Not only that, he was a man after my own heart. In spite of his wrongs, in spite of his flaws, in spite of his hiccups, in spite of his downfalls, he still was a repentant man. Come on, Jesus. He was a repentant man, and he was a man after my own heart. So I took him through those things, and he was able to exceed. He was able to carry out the call that God had for his life because of his faithfulness and because of his persistence and his consistency and how he endured, right? And so Psalms 103 was just one of the verses that I had came upon, but I was just thinking like, man, David wrote a whole lot of these Psalms, and I'm trying to pull Psalms 103 up. I wasn't going to read the whole thing. It was just certain parts of it that really had just really been standing out to me. I think the first couple of verses in Psalms 103 that I've been really, really just sitting with this week, which says, "Let all that I am praise the Lord. Let my whole heart I will praise his holy name. Let all that I am praise the Lord. May I never forget the good things he does for me." This was a Psalms by David, all right? "He forgives all my sins and heals all my diseases. He redeems me from death and crowns me with love and tender mercies. He fills my life with good things." Come on, Jesus. "My youth is renewed like the eagles. The Lord gives righteousness and justice." Come on. "To all who are treated unfairly." That one was like a part that really, really stood out to me because I had a couple of sessions this week, and just speaking with wives who dealing with again just some hardship, dealing with some stuff that just have not been fair. That verse stood out to me and was a reminder that the Lord gives justice. He is a God of justice. He is a God of justice. And so on your downtime, you have some time, go back and read through the entire book of Psalms 103. But it has truly, truly been a blessing to me this week. As I was reading Psalms 103 over this week, I discovered there are 3 weapons wives need to be using in this season. There are 3 weapons that wives need to be using in this season. Number 1, she needs the weapon of plea. 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 What is a plea, Coach T? A plea is a urgent request. A plea is a urgent request. Number two, she needs the weapon of praise. She needs the weapon of praise. What is praise, Coach T? Praise is an expression to express admiration or in thanksgiving. She needs the weapon of praise. And number three, wives need the weapon of prayer. Prayer. What is prayer, Coach T? Prayer is communication with God or a monologue with God. These are 3 weapons that wives need to be right now using in this season that they are in. These are the weapons that wives need to be right now in this season using to help them navigate through this journey in the most healthiest way. I'm starting to believe that we are giving the devil too much credit, y'all. I'm starting to believe that we're giving the enemy too much credit for some of our trials and tribulations, for some of the stuff that we are going through, for some of this hard stuff. And I'm beginning to believe that some of this stuff is from God. Right? Some of this stuff is from God. So you may be saying, well, why is God allowing us to go through these types of, trials and tribulations? Why is God allowing some of these things to take place in our life? And it's because something is coming that we must get ready for. Something is coming. Y'all, I have never, in all my days of living, and I think I had just, expressed this morning, out loud to the Lord. I'm like, Lord, I had never in all my days, I think, felt like this before, where it's like, I don't know. Like, a lot of times I don't know, but I'll still be like, okay. But this time it was like, I don't know, right? And the truth be told, something is coming. Something is coming and it's going to be big. And it's not to say, oh, spooky or scary or, but I do believe there is something that's coming that we need to be prepared for, right? We need to be on alert. We need to be prepared for it, and we need to be on alert. So a lot of times we thinking that, we're going through some of this hard stuff that is from the enemy, but really it's from the Lord. And the Lord is preparing us for something that is getting ready to come. All warfare is not from the devil. Between the plan, the purpose, and the promises, warfare is scheduled for us. Let me say that again. Between the plan, the purpose, and the promises, warfare is scheduled for us. And I'm telling you today, it ain't nothing nice. That scheduled warfare, it is nothing nice, right? It is nothing nice about it. I want to caution wise. Don't you be the one. Don't you be the one that put yourself in a position to have to receive any unnecessary warfare, because that scheduled warfare is enough all by itself. There are just some things that we will have to go through as children of God. There are just some things that we will have to go through as children of God. God has begun to train and retrain some of his leaders, his vessels, his servants. And I feel like God is saying, if you don't get it right this time around, right? If you don't get it right this time around, you're going to miss your shift. Now, y'all know I've been talking about your shift all year long. I am that coach who is going to remind you to make sure you stay on God's time. make sure you're watching that clock, because, baby, when that time come, and if you mess around and miss it, you going to miss it. Okay? You going to miss it. But Coach T, I thought what God has for me is for me. It is. It is. It is for you. But you might not get it if you don't get on board with your assignment. You might not get it if that clock is ticking and you're not on board with your assignment. We got stuff to do, y'all. We got stuff to do. One of the most frustrating things that I sometimes just see with people in general, just people in general, who feel like they got the time of the world on their back. Baby, when I don't have nothing to do, sometimes I be looking like, God, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Because I need to be doing something. And it's in those times, sometimes God want me to just sit still and not do anything. But let me tell you, sometimes that is hard for even Coach T, for me to just sit still and not do nothing. Because I'm always thinking about, okay, we can be doing this or we can be doing that. I start thinking of all kinds of stuff, trying to put things together. I start writing stuff out. Baby, when you are on God's time, when you are on God's time, there is a certain time that will come when God say, we got to go. we got to go. And if you are not in place and you're not in position and you're not doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing, you going to miss it. You going to miss it. We got too much stuff to do. I hate hearing the stories of people who are passing away. And y'all know I've said this for years. Like, I always wonder in my mind, did they complete what it is that God sent them here on earth to do? Did they finish their assignment? Did they complete their purpose? Did they do what God sent them here on earth to do? I am a pusher in that area. I push my wife in that area. What is it that you're supposed to be working on right now? What is it you're supposed to be doing? What does God have you align in? What is that God have you working on? You need to be doing something. And if you are having a season where you're not doing anything, you're sitting still, you need to make sure that you're being conscious about that rest time. I had a wife who I'm supposed to have a session with her on tomorrow. And that was just something that, she's been so thankful for. Like, she is now in a season where she's actually been able to rest. Like, she's been able to rest. Why? You do not want to be in a place or position where you miss the clock of God. Okay? You don't want to be in that place. I've been hearing God say a lot. We're moving forward. We're not going backwards. We're moving forward. So whatever, we're moving forward. I need you to know that we're moving forward. Why? We are moving forward. Like I said, I myself have been in a place with God all week just trying to figure out, okay, because I can be doing something. Like I can be working on something. But God has gotten on me about that a lot of times, because it's like, when I give you that time to break, when I give you that time to rest, I need you to be mind conscious of doing just that. Because what I have for you to do next is going to require some strength from you. It's going to require something from you. And so I need you to be conscious of that. So if God is telling you to sit still, then you need to sit still. If God is telling you to go lie down somewhere, then you need to go lie down somewhere, okay? But you got to be in tune with Him so you can know exactly what it is that you're supposed to be doing. God had brought to my attention that many wives are fighting the wrong fight. The wrong fight? Many wives are fighting the wrong fight. Many wives have taken hold onto a battle that God had never assigned you to. You just took it upon yourself to do these things. You just took it upon yourself to I'm going to just insert myself right here and just do this. And God, like, I ain't even tell you to do that though. I ain't even put you there. I ain't even tell you to go over there messing with that. I ain't even tell you to go be bothered with that. I ain't tell you to put yourself in that position. You did that. Wife, I don't know what you got going on. I don't know what kind of stuff you got going on with your families, at work, with your friends, whatever. God is saying, too many of my wives, too many of my daughters are fighting the wrong fight. They in stuff that they ain't got no business being in. They doing stuff that they ain't got no business even doing. Right? Wife, you have to know that your biggest threat on this journey is you. Your biggest threat on this journey is you. Let's define what a threat is. A threat is to be intentional, to be intentional about inflicting pain, injury, damage, or other hostile actions. Those words alone make me just pause and stop. Like, wait. To be intentional. You are being intentional to inflict pain, injury, damage, or other hostile actions. You are a threat to yourself. You, wife, are your biggest threat on this journey. It's not your husband. It's not your marriage. It's not even the devil. God said it's you. It's you. The ones that you think are a threat, they're not a threat. The ones that you think are a problem, they're not a problem. The ones that you think, the stuff that you think is an issue, that's not an issue. God said you are your biggest threat. Wives have to come to terms with the assignment. They have to come to terms and get on board with what God is asking of you to do. They just have to come to a place of that They have to get to a place where it's like, okay, this is what it is. This is where I'm at. This is my reality. Okay, I got to roll with this until God tells me else, something different. I got to roll with this until God tells me something differently. I got to roll with this until God says something to me differently. Wives got to come to full terms with their assignment. They have to come to full terms with what God is calling them to do. Because if you don't, wife, you are bringing injury to yourself. You are causing more injury and doing more harm to yourself. You so busy worrying about your husband, what he's doing and how he's messing up the marriage and how he has, afflicted the marriage. And God's like, but you bringing more injury on yourself because you are not aligned with me and what I have you and what you're supposed to be doing in this season for me and for yourself. A lot of wives are struggling. They are struggling with their assignments because they are not hearing from God. And they are not hearing from God because they are not spending time with him. Or, this is going to be a kicker, they're not pulling back enough from the table, fasting, to hear from God. I share with my wife clients all the time. One of the quickest ways for you to hear from God is to go on a fast. When I need to hear from God, when I know I need to hear from God, I go on a fast. God don't necessarily always give me a audible word. A lot of times he do. But sometimes I would get an unction in my spirit. I would get some kind of guidance in my spirit. I would get like a revelation. I would get some idea, a thought. I would know, okay, what I'm supposed to be doing next, or have peace about whatever it is that I'm dealing with. That's what fasting does for you. And so many wives are trying to avoid that part. That is one of the biggest parts of your journey. That is one of the biggest parts of your journey. Many times, wives are not clear about their assignment or what God is telling them to do or what God is calling them to do. It's because they're not spending enough time with God. They're not spending enough time with God, and they are not fasting enough. I coach my wife to fast at least, if you can't do twice a week, at least do once a week. Do once a week. Start to discipline yourself this right now, starting today to the end of the year. Start to discipline yourself right now to fast at least once a week for a couple of hours. Those types of things will begin to build you up. So then when you do need to do a longer fast, you do need to go longer days, you will be able to, put your, you'll be able to do it because you've been practicing. You've been on that regimen. Wives got to get to a place where they are spending time with God, coming into a relationship with God. I think I had read I had a picture, I think I had sent to one of my clients recently where it talked about, let me see if I can find it. Y'all see I'm still with this new phone. It says when the further from God, when the husband or the wife, it was talking about the husband or wife, but when the husband or wife is the furthest from God, it would be the distance between the husband and the wife. But when the husband and wife is closest to God, then the husband and wife will be closest to each other. So many times, wives are trying to get God to do something on their behalf concerning their marriages and concerning their husbands. But it's like, God, I don't even know you. I don't even know you. You call me Lord, but I don't even know you. We don't spend no time together. You don't come and commune with me. You don't come, and the only time you do come to me and talk to me is only when you need something. You don't sit in my presence. You don't dine with me. You don't prioritize me. Like I don't even know you. And why you're gonna have to know who God is in this season. You're gonna have to be in some type of relationship with God. Just that little bit, get by a little bit time is not going to be enough. One thing about Coach T, when the Bible talks about praying without ceasing, that is something that I have learned to do, over the years and, as I walk with God. I talk to God all day long because I be needing him all day long. And a lot of times what happens with that, when I talk to him all day long and I pray with him all day long, God end up telling me stuff that I should be doing sometimes all day long. Especially at work. Like you could have handled that better. You could have did that a little differently than that. Right? It is important. It's essential to your to your assignment, wife, for you to make a decision to break bread with God, sit down with God, get in a relationship with God, learn about God, figure out some things you're trying to do. A lot of times, I think I had one wife before. She was like, sometimes it's hard for me to even get in a place to like read the Bible or get in a place. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. Sit down with God and ask God, where is it that you want me to start reading on today? What is it you want to share with me on today? A lot of times that's what I do when I go and sit with God. It's like, God, where are you going to lead me? Or sometimes I will, hear different messages or whatever. And sometimes that will lead me to those type of scriptures and then lead me to it in a deeper study. But you have to be intentional, wife, about your time that you put in with God. And I always tell wives, the more you spend time with God, the more you have a relationship with God, the more you are weak, the more he's going to talk back to you. The more he's going to commune with you. The more he's going to tell you. A lot of wives are refusing to surrender. They are refusing to surrender and take the yoke of the Lord. And this is why so many are still struggling. They are struggling emotionally. They are struggling emotionally because they refuse to take upon the yoke of the Lord. Matthew 11:28-30 says, "Come to me, all you who are worried and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Wives, you gotta get to a place where you make a decision to surrender. And not just saying it with your mouth, okay, God, I surrender. Okay, God, I surrender. Because God gonna test you. God gonna test you and he gonna know if you have really, really surrendered. You can be sure to know that if you say, God, I surrender, a test is on its way. And in that test, he's gonna let you know you hadn't surrendered yet. God, I surrender. God, I surrender. Like, okay, you surrender. Let me send this trial to you. Let me send this tribulation to you. Right? You can be sure to know that when you say you surrender, a test is on its way. It is not until you stop fighting with your own will, okay? Which wives have to just learn how to destroy, right? It is not until you stop struggling and fighting with your own will and give your will over to the Lord that you will receive what you need from the Lord concerning your situation. As long as you fighting and you trying to figure out, but what about this? But what about this? Well, why God ain't doing this? Why, if he's this, why he's not doing this? While you doing all that stuff, the clock is ticking, time is passing, and you still in that same place. The clock is ticking, time is passing, and you asking all these questions. Well, God did it for this person. Well, God do it for this person. Well, if I'm his child, why he can't do it for me? Listen, get to a place where you say, God, not my will, but your will be done. God, I want to do this your way. And you have to understand, when you say that you want to do it God's way, God gonna show you that you're gonna do it his way. Okay? It seems as if the warfare has heightened, right? It has heightened in these latter months of the year. But even with that being the case, wives have to understand that a lot of times that is part of God's plan to mature you, to strengthen you, to grow you up in him, to teach you, to instruct you, to align you, to wise you up. God is doing something in the warfare, right? God is doing something in the warfare. Like I had mentioned earlier, all warfare is not bad. But don't you go doing anything that will bring unnecessary warfare on you. All warfare is not bad. Psalms 144:1 says, "Praise the Lord, who is my rock. He trains my hands for war and gives my fingers skill for battle." A lot of times, God will allow warfare to happen in your life because he's trying to train you, because he's trying to teach you, because he's trying to build you up, because he's trying to get you prepared for something, because he's trying to show you something, right? A lot of times, God will send warfare to take place so that he can do these things. But too many times, wives are in the wrong on the wrong playing field, right? They way over here across yonder, and God like, you in the wrong fight. You that ain't got nothing to do with you. You in the wrong fight. I need you to come over here. I need you to focus on this. I need you to focus on you. I need you to focus on working this part out in you. That part we gonna deal with. That part I'm gonna touch that part. But we need to get you right first, right? This has to be a season of This has been. Let me say that right. This have been a season for many of us to endure. A lot of us have been in a place of endurance, right? What does it mean to endure? Endurance is the ability to persevere through life's trials and difficulties, relying on God for strength and without wavering. It's also described as the power to continue despite difficulties or to keep on keeping on. A lot of times, when you are dealing with trials and tribulations and you seem like you are dealing with all kinds of warfare and all kinds of hell is breaking loose in your house and breaking loose in your life, you trying to figure out what you like. I don't want to deal with this, right? You're dealing with all that kind of stuff. You're trying to figure out what's going on. God is telling you to endure. 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 I'm not going to pull you out of this situation. I'm just going to walk with you through it. I'm not gonna stop this from happening, but I'm going to help you get through it, and I'm gonna walk with you through it on the other side. Why? You got to build up your endurance in this season. You got to get yourself together for the fight to come in this season. God is still saying, I'm trying to do something in you, and too many of my daughters are still around here drinking on milk, and I need them to get some meat. Too many of my daughters are still around here sipping on milk, and I need them to get this meat. Something is coming, and God wants to prepare you for it. This is not the time to give up, wife. This is not the time to give up. This is not the time to cave in. This is not the time to throw in a towel. Even though most days you feel like you want to. I am here to tell you. One of the things that I have to keep showing up for is just being consistent, even in my business. You know, when you work a 9 to 5, sometimes, your business can kind of get a, backseat, but I have to be intentional. I have to be intentional about showing up. And one of the things that I feel like God has really, really been, walking with me through in this season, concerning my business, is focus on the ones who are committed to the process. Focus on the ones who are committed into doing the work. Focus on the ones who are committed to showing up. Don't put all your energy in the ones who are not doing that. Don't put all your energy into the in your time. Focus on the ones who are committed and who's actually showing up, who's doing the work, right? And sometimes, y'all, business is business, right? And it can be up and down. And sometimes it can get weary. But one of the things that I have really, really seen God do with me in this season is keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Your consistency will pay off. And that's how I continue to keep walking through this, right? This is not the time to give up, wife. You have to keep going through this, whatever it is, to get you on the other side. And sometimes that means you're having to endure some hard stuff, right? You're having to endure some hard stuff. Keep training. If you have to cry out to God, cry, right? If you have to scream, scream. If you have to throw something. But get back up and keep going, all right? Keep going, whatever the cost. A lot of wives, and this is another part that I have been, noticing, that a lot of wives who are in the homes with their unrepentant husbands, baby, these wives are going through. They are going through. All right. I want to encourage you, wife, to stand on Matthew 11:28-30. Your joy is coming. your joy is coming. I was in my small group about a week ago, and I don't know. A lot of times I end up working with a lot of ladies that's always, older than me. And so one of the ladies, in the small group, she said something, and she was like, we don't have any control over our husbands. Y'all know I share that with y'all all the time. We don't have any control over our husbands, what they do, how they show up, this and that. But as long as we are doing our parts right, do your part to the fullest. Play your role out to the fullest. Do everything that you're supposed to be doing. So when God come up here and say, okay, now it's your turn, what you got going on, you want to make sure that you're doing your part right. And when you are in a home with an unrepentant spouse, that can be difficult. It can be difficult. It can be hard. It can be frustrating. It can be, baby, I don't want to do this, right? It's hard. You're basically in a home with a person who just rebellions against you, rebellions against the God that you serve, rebellions against what you stand for, what you believe, and God is asking you to be a representative of Him in that place. Oh my God, my God, my God. It can be one of the most hardest things that a person, and I've heard people say, marriage can be your heaven on earth, or it can be your hell on earth. A lot of these wives who are in the homes with their unrepentant husbands, they are living out hell on earth, right? And my only encouragement to you wives is keep doing your part. Keep doing your part. Less talking, less nagging, less trying to make them understand, less trying to, even compromise. A lot of times I hear wives, they try to compromise. They try to come into agreement a lot of times with their husband's foolery. It's like that. No, don't do any of that. Just do your part. Be the best wife that you can be. Show up and be the best part that you can be. I was sharing with a young lady, early in the week, 2 things that a man need. and this is just Coach T giving her almost 20 years of experience as a wife. 2 things that a man need. I know they say, a man, they said the quickest way to a man is to his heart, is through his stomach, whatever. Yeah, whatever. That was my story. My husband cooked his own food. My husband cooked for me. But 2 things that I know for sure that they need is respect and peace. They need respect and peace. I know at one point they was even saying, oh, a man needs sex, this and that. Baby, that ain't even on the top of the list, okay? Yes, they need that as well, but that ain't even on the top of the list. The very 2 things that's at the top of men's list is respect and peace. Respect and peace. And wives, if I can't do anything but encourage you in that way, I think it's in Romans. And this is a Bible verse that I had shared with her. If it be possible, if it be all possible, as much as it depends on you, right? As much as it depends on you, live at peace with all men. When you are dealing with an unrepentant spouse, this spouse is, in an adulterous relationship, or this spouse is, doing drugs and alcohol. This spouse is just, just completely stop doing his responsibilities as a husband. And you're trying to figure out like how to get him back into this place, or how to get him, stop trying. Stop trying. You have to draw your strength from the Lord. A lot of times I'm hearing wives, I'm not getting my needs met. It's not fair. It is not. It's not. Go back to Psalms 103, verse 6. God is a just God. Justice will be your portion, right? Justice will be your portion. But wives gotta stop trying to make their husbands do anything. That is not working. That will not work in your favor. In fact, it will cause more harm and damage. Too many wives I've been talking to are like still coming in agreement with their husbands about divorce. Shut your mouth and stop doing that. Stop coming in agreement with divorce. You are making the enemy's job easier. He don't have to do much because you are doing it. The best thing you can do when you are in a position like that is learn how to, that fruit of the spirit, learn how to walk in meekness. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you responsible, right? It makes you accountable, and it gives you the help from God that you need. Too many wives are trying to and they thinking that that's going to help. Baby, I'm here to tell you. I always share. I think I shared these videos, shared some of my videos before. I used to always tell wives, if your husband is back in the home, don't you be the one to send him back outside of the home. If he's already in the home, don't push him outside of the home. Too many wives are fighting the wrong fight. They're trying to come up and combat with whatever spirit that your husband may be dealing with, or combat with whatever spirit that your husband may be, maybe carrying with him. And you cannot combat with that spirit. I'm here to tell you. There are, the Bible talks about it in Ephesians, in 1 Corinthians. I think yes, in 1 Corinthians. We're not fighting against flesh and blood. We're not fighting against flesh and blood. I get hyped about this because this was an area that, baby, if I was going to fail in, it was going to be in this area right here. Because you cannot make that man do nothing. You cannot make him do anything. And all it does is make the situation worse for you. All it does is make the situation harder for you. You have to make a decision. You have to make up in your mind. You have to put boundaries in place for yourself. And you have to cry out to God. Going back to those first 3 weapons that I told you that you got to use. That plea, praise, and prayer. You have to cry out to God and get into a space with him and have him to help you and show you, how am I supposed to operate this? Too many wives are fighting the wrong fight. They're trying to combat up against that spirit in their husbands, and you will not win. I'm here to tell you today. Shut your mouths. Give that man his peace. Give him his respect. And you, well, how you respect a man who's not being respectful and he's doing this and he's being this way? Listen, I'm here to tell you, even in their wrongdoings, and this, y'all ain't gonna like this. I'm trying to tell you. I think I had heard Tony Braxton. I think I shared this before. I think I heard Tony Braxton and her sister talk about this one time. Say that a man like to cheat in peace. It don't make it right. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it's okay, right? I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it's okay. But even in his wrongdoing, he wants to be at peace. If you've been already brought to his attention and you've been already said and he's still doing it, baby, you're going to have to go to God and seek that strength from him and get whatever else you need from him after that. God, I don't like this. Tell it to God. You over here, you doing this, go tell it to God. Tell God what you don't like. Tell God how it make you feel and let God deal with it. And I am here to tell you as a witness, God cares about the pain that a wife is going through. God is the only person, I wasn't even gonna go here. God is the only person who can turn a person's heart. He is the only person who can deal with that man's heart. Wife, your words, I'm telling you, after about for the first 5-10 minutes, 10 is pushing it. They have already checked out. So you putting all your energy, yapping and yap, and they done checked out. I'm telling you, my husband would sit there and let me just go on and on and on and on and on. And after I've been said that I had to say, he would sit there for a few minutes, and after I get start to quiet down, and I got quiet or whatever, he'll wait about a couple minutes, and he'll close the door and he'll go to sleep. Just like that. It was like, you ain't gonna even say nothing to me. Like, no, it's you finished. The conversation is over. I'm telling you, wife, you will not be able to make this man do anything that you want him to do without the Lord's help. And even with that, God is like, I'm not gonna be mocked. You're not gonna manipulate me. You're not gonna push him at me to force his man to do anything, because at the end of the day, he does have free will. But I will align his desires and his things according to my plan. I will align his desires and and the things that he got going on according to the plans that I have for you. Right? Nobody can make nobody do anything. Stop it. Stop arguing with him. Stop complaining with him. Stop mocking him. Stop trying to make it what you want to make it. Stop calling him. Stop fussing with him. If your husband has been out of the house and now he's back home, you trying to push him back out? You trying to send him back out there with other women? You have to learn how to get into a space, in a place. You better learn how to fast. You better learn how to talk to God, and you better learn how to pray in the spirit. I tell wives this all the time. If you don't know how to pray in the spirit, you are missing out. Because baby, there is something that happens. The heavens start to move on your behalf when you start to pray in the spirit. I am the one to tell you, wife, you gotta get to a better place when it comes down to that. Now, I wasn't even supposed to go do all that, but that was the Holy Spirit that led me to do that. So I'm going to leave that right there with y'all. Okay? I know you're going through. Wives, for the ones that's in the homes with their unrepentant husband. You got to stand on Matthew 11:28-30. And then that Bible verse in Romans 12:18. Be at peace and stop coming in agreement with your husband's shenanigans. Stop coming in agreement with divorce. Stop coming in agreement with that foolery, all right? I've had a young lady who I've worked with for about 2 years. For about 2 years. And I have experienced the highs and the lows of her journey with her, right? But God remained faithful. God remained faithful. He brought her husband home. And even after her husband came home, things were still kind of rocky, right? But she persevered. She endured through the hard days. She utilized her weapons, y'all. Her plea, her praise, and her prayer. It was accountability. It was accountability that saved her marriage. It was her consistency. It was her consistency and being accountable and showing up for herself. And therefore, she's seen the results. She's seen what God has done. Now, you heard me that I said I walked with her for about 2 years. Too many wives are trying to do this quick, bam, bam, here we go, done type of thing, and thinking that's the end of it. That's it. And that's not how this go, right? That's not how this go. I have so many wives. Who start out with me. Things get better for them, or their money get funny, and then they quit. Right? Things get better for them. Their money get funny, and then they quit. And it's like, wives, you have to understand, having a wife coach while on this journey helps you to prioritize your mental and emotional well-being. Your check-ins is not for your marriage. Too many wives stop checking in because they think the check-ins are only for their marriages. It's not. This is about your mental health. This is about your mental health. You are going through a loss. You are going through a difficult season. You are going through a heartache. And no, you don't stay in that place. You don't stay in that place. The check-ins is not just for your marriage. The check-ins is for your mental and emotional well-being. Maybe in the beginning, a lot of times it is for your marriage, right? Because we do a lot of talking. We try to get you back in a healthy place. And then, like I said, sometimes wives end up getting into a healthy place and things get better. I like to walk with my wives until their husbands, return back home, until their husbands return back home, and then their husbands and them are in a healthier place. That's just Coach T. Because I have been on this journey for a long time. So I know how that goes as well. So I try to help wives to go through the steps, because you're going to run into all different types of things. You're going to run into all different, type of things going to come up. And so I just like to help wives to walk through that. I don't say this is a sprint when you sign up with, when you sign up with her Barista Boost or, with Coach C's coaching. This is a, for a longevity type of journey. The check-ins, wife, is not just for your husband. It's not just for your marriage. Wives feel like, well, you know what? I'm in a better place. Me and him, I just made my decision. I'm going to get him over to the Lord, this and that. Good. Great. What are you doing for yourself? How are you taking care of yourself? What are you working on? What you need to be working on? It's like it does not stop just because you done came to, your reality, or you done came to a place of acceptance, or you done came to a place of, okay, this is where I'm at. It doesn't just stop there. Now it's like, okay, now let's focus on you. Let's get you right. Let's get you in a better place. Let's see what you got going on. Let's work on you and help and see what God wants you to do. Let's work on your purpose. Work on the things that God wants to do and perfect in your life. And that's where her bonus boost comes in at. Right? That's where her bonus boost comes in at. I offer her bonus boost for my wives who are ready to do their own personal inner work. Right? This is why I offer her a bonus boost. Bonus boost is for the wives who have come to a place of acceptance, who have said, you know what, I made a decision to just, lay my marriage at the altar. It's going to be what it's going to be. I'm ready to not focus on myself. I'm ready to focus on my well-being. I'm ready to focus on getting myself into a better place. I'm ready to focus and see what God has for me. I want to focus on purpose. I want to focus on, what God wants me to do. Maybe there's something that God has lined up for me to do. I'm supposed to be working in something, some kind of ministry I'm supposed to be producing. I want to start doing those things. This is what her bonus boost gets that wife into that healthy place. It helps to transform that wife and teaches her how to retreat herself, how to make sure that she's taking care of herself now that she has come to the reality of this is where things are in my marriage. Now, a lot of times when wives are doing her bonus boost, God is working in their marriages. This is what I have seen a lot of times have taken place. The moment the wife makes a decision to start doing her own personal work, this is when God started moving her marriage. Oh, I was doing this, and I got a phone call from my husband. I was doing this, and this, and all of a sudden my husband reached out. I was doing this, and then my husband, something happens in that sense. Something happens, and I always tell wives, I feel like her bonus boost is a prophetic curriculum that God gave me, and I share that with wives every single time, and I'm telling you, every single time those wives come out with the results that they're looking for on the other side. Wife, this is the season. This is the time to do your own personal work. Stop fighting the wrong fight. God is saying, you doing too much. You got your hands in too much stuff. I need you to focus right here. Something is coming. Something's getting ready to happen. I'm getting ready to move. I don't want you to miss your shift. I need you to be on board. Give your issues over to me. Cast your cares upon me. I care for you. I care about your pain. But I care more, too, about your well-being and your mental and emotional well-being. And I want to get you in a healthy place. Why stop playing with your life? Stop playing with your life. Whatever God has promised you concerning your marriage, it will be so. It will be so. This is the season for you to start doing your own personal work. Absolutely. That's my prayer. You're giving out knowledge. Wives are going to be changed with this information. In Jesus' name, that is my prayer for wives to be made brand new when it comes down to this journey for the ones who are serious. For the ones who are serious, I want to encourage you to sign up for your wife consultation today. Y'all gonna miss Coach T when she stopped, being in these other places and spaces. Y'all gonna be like, dang, I should have got one when she was like, when she had her little regular prices. Cause baby, okay, when God puts me up on this thing and I'm gonna be somewhere else, y'all gonna wish y'all would have signed up for a consultation. Okay, I want to encourage you today. Sign up to start doing your work. www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Listen, why? It's Friday. It's the weekend. Do something that you enjoy doing. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that you get outside. If it ain't being ghetto like Georgia, because Georgia was being ghetto today. Get outside. Get a little sunlight. Go walk around. Move your body. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Make sure that you relax. Relax a little bit. Read a book. Watch a little TV. Cook your favorite dish. Whatever it is that you enjoy doing, I want to encourage you to do those things today and make sure that you get that necessary accountability that you need for this journey. It is essential for your assignment that God has for you. All right? www.marriagechroniclesbytanika.com. Listen, I love y'all. I'll talk to you soon. Blessings.